Hello, Year 5. So here's our maths learning for Tuesday, the 22nd, 23rd of February, 2021. And then we have it in Roman numerals over here. And today we're going to divide numbers mentally, that means in our heads, using known facts. That means things we already know about. Okay, we don't always need to go to a written method when we see a division calculation. We can first look at it and say to ourselves, right, can I actually do this in my head? And it will take much less time. Okay, so our success criteria is really when you see a division calculation or a question, look at it carefully. Don't just think, going to use a written method. Have a look at it. Have a look at the numbers in the question. Is there a quicker, easier way to do it in your head? Okay, so you need to decide which method you could use to find the answer in your head. Okay, you might use halving because by now you should know a lot of the numbers halved very quickly. So if I say to you 24, you should say to me, well, half of 24 is 12. You should know that straight away. You could use partitioning. You could use moving the digits to the right to divide by 10. We talked about that just before at half term. Or you could use a known times table fact, and that's what we're using mostly today. But let's just have a look at through those first ones. Okay, so when we use halving, I've done a nice easy question here, 42 divided by 2. Remember, when we divide by 2, we're halving. That's what divide by 2 means. It means you halve it, okay? So dividing by 2, halving 42, I might just be able to look at 42 and think, half of 40, half of 2 is going to be 21. If I'm not so sure, think about it in a partitioning way. Think half of 40, know that straight away, that's 20. Half of 2, know that straight away, that's 1. Add those two bits together, 20 and 1 is 21. Half of 42 is 21. Okay, so if I'm dividing by 2, I can halve it. But I can use halving for some other calculations as well, because let's see if you can see my board well enough. If I'm dividing by 4, okay, so let's try 88 divided by 4. Okay, so I'm going to divide this number by 4. What I need to do to divide by 4 is to halve it and halve it again. So basically what I'm doing is dividing it by 2 and then dividing it by 2 again. Okay, and by dividing it by 2 twice, that will make the same answer as dividing it by 4. Okay, so if I halve 88, I get 44. That is only halving it. That's only dividing it by 2. If I halve it again, I'll get 22. And now I've divided it by 4. I've halved it and halved it again. And that makes the same answer as dividing it by 4. Okay, so to divide by 4, halve it and halve it again. Okay, so just think about dividing by 2, dividing by 2. All right, now then, to divide by 8, I have to halve a little bit more. Let's choose, let me see, let's choose 48. Okay, I'm going to choose 48 and I'm going to divide it by 8. Let's see if I can manage to do this. Okay, so to divide a number by 8, you have to halve it. So here we go, let's halve this, that's 24. You have to halve it again, that's 12. and you have to halve it again, and that's 6. So when I'm dividing by 8, I have to divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. Okay, I divide by 2 3 times. Divide by 2, divide by 4, divide by 8. Okay, that makes things much easier. You will have done that before in year 5, I know that. But so divide by 8, you have to divide by 2, divide by 4, divide by 8. Okay, so you're halving going down there. So the answer in the end is 6. And it is, because 6 8s are 48. That's my favorite multiplication, you know that. Okay, so that's halving. All right, and you need to know your halves. If you don't know your halves really well, give yourself some time to learn your halves. Very important that you know halves. Okay, and off we go again. And halving. And next one, partitioning. Okay, so when we've got a number that's in hundreds or thousands or however big it is, so long as we're dividing it by a number that looks from those numbers, although they're going to divide nicely into 3s. Okay, there's a 9. I know 9 divides by 3. There's a 6. I know 6 divides by 3. There's a 3. Obviously, 3 divides by 3. Okay, so I know that that number looks as though it's going to divide nice and easily by 3. Okay, so partition it up into 360 and 9. You know very well how to partition now. And then divide each of those bits by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 60 divided by 3 is 20, because 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 6 tens divided by 3 makes 2 tens. Okay, all I've done is added tens on the end, which is the 0. 300 divided by 3 is 100, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So 300 divided by 3 is 100. So when I've divided all those bits by 3, I need to add them back up together to get the answer. 369 divided by 3 is 123. Okay, so quick go through that because you know how to do that. Done that lots before. Now I know you've done this because we did this very recently. If I had a question which asked me to divide by 10 or 100 or 1,000, you know how to do those. I look at the number of zeros and that will tell me how many places I need to move it to the right. I put above the number, I put place value headings up. And if I'm going to need to go into a decimal place, I need to put a decimal point. Okay, and then I move the digits along. Because I'm dividing by 10, I've moved them one place along. So the 600s became 6 tens. The 3 tens became 3 ones, and I ended up with the answer 63. I gave myself a really easy one there because it didn't move into the decimals, but I know you know how to do that because we did that last week and you got really, really good at it. So dividing by 10, 100 and 1,000 is no problem for us now. So today we're going to talk about using a known times table fact. That's why yesterday we spent ages making ourselves a nice big multiplication square. Well, I've still got mine there. Okay, so you should still have yours and you can use it as much as you like today. Okay, it won't be cheating whatsoever. And if you can hear something in the background, it's Albert scratching the carpet, which he does before he goes to bed because he thinks he's making a nice nest for himself. Doesn't do the carpet any good. So using a known times table fact. Now then, you know that once I know a times table fact, I know other things. I know other things just because I know that 6 times 8 is 48. I know that I can swap these two digits around because 6 times 8 gives the same answer as 8 times 6. You've done that lots of times, okay? You know that 6 times 8 is the same as 8 times 6. And if you're not sure about that, get out your times table board. Okay, I'll have to come off share to show you this. Here we go. So 6 times 8 is 48. There we are. Can you see where my purple pen is? There. And 8 times 6, there we go, is 48 as well. You can swap them round. All of the numbers on here are on twice because 7 3s are 21, just the same as 3 7s are 21. Okay, they're all on twice because you can always swap the digits round, okay, and it gives the same answer. Now then, because I know that 6 8s are 48 and 8 6s are 48, I know that I can divide 48 by either of these numbers and it will go exactly, okay? So I know I can divide 48 by 6 and I know that the answer will be 8. And I know I can divide 48 by 8 and I know that the answer will be 6. Okay, so I know those 4 facts. Now, I'm not going to spend a long time showing you why those facts are true, because we have, in the past, got out 6 lots of 8. So we've got 6 piles of 8 counters out, and I've shown you that there's 48 there. And then we've moved them round to make 8 piles of 6 instead of 6 piles of 8. And you've counted them and found there's still 48 there. And then you've put your 48 into a big pile and you've sorted them into groups of 6. And you've found that there's 8 groups of 6. Then you've put them into a big pile again and sorted them into groups of 8. And you've found that there's 6 piles. We're not going to do that again, all right? We did that in year 3 and you've done it in year 4. So I'm assuming that that is something that you know, okay, that you know how to use those facts. But what you might not know, so this might be new learning for you. Let's go on to our screen share, sorry. Okay, so we are up to there. That's our known facts. That's what we've just talked about so far. On the sheet that I've given you to do today, your first task is to do some times table work, okay? If you've got any problems with any of those, look at your timetable square that you made yesterday. All your answers are on there, okay? And then the next thing you're going to be asked to do is to use those answers there to calculate some answers to division questions, just in the same way that we've just been doing. But then they get a little bit harder. I'm going to have to put my glasses on here because what I'm looking at down here is quite small. Okay, so you're going to get some questions like that one there. 36 divided by 6 equals, it's not 36, it's 24. I'm sorry, I can't see. I've got my glasses on, I still can't see. 24 divided by 6 equals, so 24 divided by 6 equals, all you need to do is work out, find the multiplication question that had 24 as an answer and 6 as part of the question. And you should find that 6 times 4 gave the answer 24. So you know that 24 divided by 6 is 4. Okay, so you should all find that. Now I'm going to show you something really cool. Okay, so once you know how to find the answers to division questions like that using your times tables, I can tell you that also you know that 240, you can't do it like that, Miss Cooper, you can't do it. 240 divided by 6 is 40. Wow. How do I know that 240 divided by 6 is 40? I know that because 24 divided by 6 is 4. If I make the first part 10 times bigger, then the second part becomes 10 times bigger because there are 6 40s in 240. There are 6 4s in 24. I've made the 24 10 times bigger, and now I've made 4 10 times bigger. And if I make it 100 times bigger, magic, it works exactly the same. I've made my 224 into 2,400, divide it by 6, and I've got 400 because just like they were 24 divided by 6, so there were 4 6s in 24, there are 400 6s in 240. Can you see the pattern? Can you see the pattern? I made 240, I made 24 10 times bigger, and the answer became 10 times bigger. I made 24 100 times bigger, and my answer became 100 times bigger. How cool is that? Maths is wonderful. Once I know that one fact, I know that fact, and I know that fact. But I tell you one fact I do not know. I do not know this fact because it is not true. Here we are. I've made 24 10 times bigger. Be careful. I do not know this fact. 240 divided by 60 does not equal 40. There are not 60 40s in 240. Okay, 60 times 40 is 2,400, not 240. Okay, I can't make the number I'm dividing by 10 times bigger and make the first number 10 times bigger and make the second times number 10 times bigger. That does not work. Okay, if I make the second number 10 times bigger, so how many 60s are there in 240? Well, let's see, there's 60, add 60. 60 add 60 is 120. Add 60, 180. Add 60, 240. 1, 2, 3, 4 60s. 4 60s make 240. Not 40 60s. 4 60s make 240. So I made my big number, 24, I made it 10 times bigger. I made the number I'm dividing by 10 times bigger, but I don't make the answer 10 times bigger. I can't make all of them 10 times bigger, okay? 60 add 60 add 60 add 60 makes 240. So 4 60s make 240. Make sure your sentence makes sense, okay? You can only make 2 of the numbers 10 times bigger, not all of them, okay? So once I know that 2,400 divided by 600 also equals 4. There are 4 600s in 2,400. 600, 1,200, 1,800, 2,400. There are 4 600s in 2,400. Can you see there? Can you see? We made it 100 times bigger and we divided it by a number that was 100 times bigger. And the answer is the same because if you count up in 600s, you count up 4 600s to make 2,400. Okay, so you use those skills, you use the facts that you know to complete the sheet that you've got. Okay, and it goes down, and halfway down it says purple, and only the purple people need to carry on past where it says purple. The rest of you can stop when you've got down to the end of this part here. Okay, and if you need to watch this video a couple of times to make sure you're getting it right, then do that. Okay, because using facts that you know makes maths much quicker. Okay, I look forward to seeing that super work from you. All right, thank you.